Rami, thank you so much. Back here in the U.S., crews are making progress on the deadly wildfires raging in Southern California right now. President Trump plans to travel to Los Angeles later on today and take part in an aerial tour of all the damage. California Governor Gavin Newsom says he plans on greeting the president when he arrives. Now, these flames destroyed tens of thousands of acres in Ventura, Los Angeles, and San Diego counties. And while firefighters pay close attention to the big fires like the Palisades, the Eaton fires, and the Hughes fires, several smaller ones keep popping up. Containing the fires is only one part of the job, though, now, as forecasted rains this weekend could bring mudslides and even flooding. Let's go now to CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez in the community of Castaic near the explosive Hughes fire. Welcome, Andres. First, can you tell us the latest on what's happening with the Hughes fire in terms of containment?
Yeah, at this point, it is 56% contained, and so they have made significant progress. Huge difference here in the last 24 hours. When I was out here yesterday, there was still billowing smoke, creating a haze in the sky. The wind was kicking up ash and a lot of the debris, but not longer the case here. You could actually breathe in and it's not that acrid smoke in the air. So at this point, they have a good handle on this fire. They've made significant progress overnight. Yes, we are all looking forward to that visit that will be happening from President Trump later this afternoon. Governor Newsom is expected to greet the president there on the tarmac, and that may be the only time that two leaders speak to each other, if at all. We'll see if that happens. President Trump will then visit the Pacific Palisades area. He will not visit the location of the Eaton fire, the Altadena area. We are told that he will meet with several local leaders, including Congresswoman Judy Shu and other top brass from the Los Angeles Fire Department. At this point, there have been that feud between the governor and the president over the water policies here in the state. He is telling the state that they may withhold federal aid if they don't change those policies. His whole premise is the fact that there is some fish conservation happening up in the northern part of the state, and he believes that that may have impacted the firefighting efforts here in the greater Los Angeles area. Experts have refuted those claims, saying those are baseless. In fact, that has also been the contention, the point that local officials have made, saying that the system was just overtaxed with the amount of fire, the way the fires exploded in the Pacific Palisades and the Eaton fires. And so the way that the state gets the money is badly needed. The city of Los Angeles says that they lost at least $350 million worth of infrastructure as a result of these fires. And then there are also private insurers who are saying that it's going to cost tens of billions of dollars to recoup some of the losses.
And politics is at play when it comes to relief efforts, at least from the federal government there, Andres. I want to ask a question, though, more about boots on the ground. I mean, we're expecting rains tomorrow, which could be a big issue in these fires, these areas that just were stricken with wildfires. Can you tell us how they're preparing for potential flooding and even mudslides where you're standing?
Yeah. So, Liz, the rain is much needed here. They haven't seen a drop of rain since last May, and they're expecting about half an inch of rain here this weekend. But fire crews, aside from doing the containment, they are also filling up sandbags, and they are placing flood barriers, as well as trying to prevent any toxic debris from flowing in the area. They are assessing locations where there may be the risk of landslides, and so they're in the process of stabilizing hillsides as well as filtering any toxic runoff. The California National Guard, who has been here since this all began, is also assisting with heavy machinery and making sure that they're able to clear out the drain basins so we don't have any toxic debris flowing through the streets of Los Angeles here.
CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez live for us in Castaic, California. And we know we're going to be checking in with you later as the president makes his trip to Southern California. Thanks so much, Andres.